Welcome to a new episode of Am I the A-Hole? We have step-sibling problems, naughty wives, and wiping hard drives. So stick around to find out, are they the A-Hole? So hey everyone, welcome to Geeky United, and it's another Am I the A-Hole video. I'm joined as always by Emma. Hey Emma.
Hello.
And we have a special guest this time. We have Hijabihoo, otherwise Dani. Hi, welcome to our little video.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Well, I mean, I suppose I've got to at some point. I've known Dani a very, very long time. Is it over 10 years now?
Yes.
Yeah. I've known you since you were this high, which means not much difference in height.
Well,
But
I've known you
yeah.
since you were actually young.
Yeah,
and
you
not
knew me when
great.
I was young.
Yeah.
Was I still in my 30s? Yeah, I think I was still in my 30s.
Okay.
So not that young. But no, we have a very special edition of Am I the A-Hole? It's all about gaming. So we thought Dani to come on. She streams and everything like that, and cosplays game characters from Assassin's Creed and League of Legends. Is it League of Legends? No, Apex.
Apex Legends.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting.
Oh,
I
who do
knew
you
there's a
cosplay from
legend.
Apex? Say again, sorry? Who do you cosplay from Apex? Valk and Crypto for now. That's so cool.
I play a lot
I
of
know
Apex
who
Legends.
that is.
Do you?
Yeah, I played it from when it first came out.
Oh, amazing.
I'm still bad.
Same.
I don't know what the characters look like, because every time I watch you play it on stream, it's obviously from their viewpoint. So I don't know what the characters look like. But I know they go pew, pew, pew. I'm not a first-person shooter person.
The one that flies.
Yeah.
There's only one that flies.
That narrows it down. Right, I'm coming across as the A-hole, but should we look at other people and see if they're the A-hole instead? So, we will start with story number 1. So, story number 1. Everyone's just saw my notes from the first one. Okay. Story number 1. Am I the A-hole for asking my stepkid to be nice to my own kids? So I, 34 female, got married a year ago to who we'll call Ryan, 44 male. Ryan and I were together for 2 years prior to getting married. We both knew about each other's children. I have a pair of twins and an older child. So the twins are 5, male and female, and an 8-year-old boy. And he has 2 kids, one living with their mother, who is a 15-year-old male, and one living with us, a 14-year-old female, who we will call Anna. Anna came to live with us because she no longer wanted to deal with her mother. And I'm not entirely sure what happened there. I don't expect her to tell me any more than that. Her father and I discussed the situation, and I did not tell her what to do or treat her as my own child. Oh, sorry. That doesn't make sense. Some of these people that write these are terrible. So she's treating her like our own child. But ever since her moving in a year ago, things haven't been super fair to my children. Well, straight away, you're not treating this girl as your own child because you're saying my children.
Yeah.
See how it goes. Nor has she been nice to them. If needed, I'll provide a few examples, but I'm trying to stay under the word count. This is not looking good so far.
Yeah, that's always a good sign.
Amazing.
Yeah. Most recently, she absolutely refuses to let them play anything on the PlayStation and has been doing so since last year. Ryan bought her a PlayStation 5 for Christmas, but when setting it up, they decided that her PlayStation 4 was better and sold the PlayStation 5. So she decided to put that money aside and save up. Now my children can't use the PlayStation 5 because it's sold, but they can't use the PlayStation 4 because she refuses to let them after one incident. I did not confront Ryan about this, but he argued that I said he shouldn't get them anything tech-wise and that the PlayStation 5 wasn't a gift for them anyway. He didn't decide what to do with it. I accepted that argument. Now I've been asked to be nice and let my kids have a turn on the PlayStation 4 when she's not using it, which she doesn't do much. She only plays for an hour after school on Wednesdays, weekends, and whenever she has a friend over. She said no time and time again. A few of those times, her reasoning changed from, well, what if it happens again, to my PlayStation's in my room, I don't want them in there, to if they really want to play, you should buy them their own. And while that sounds like a great solution, I don't see the point in buying a whole new one when there is one already there they can use. it continues. So I asked her father about it, and he said that I need her permission, since it was a gift to her and her things aren't his to have a say over. So after trying time and time again, I gave up. But then she and her girlfriend went out yesterday to get coffee and buy some books. She wasn't here, so I thought it'd be fine to let my kids play, since they couldn't bother her since she wasn't even in her room, and my kid swore he wouldn't do what he did last time. It was going great until about 4 p.m. and I heard my kids crying as well as screaming. I went upstairs to check, and sure enough, Anna threw them out and was yelling at them. I told her to talk to them calmly, then she screamed at me as well. Nothing happened this time and nothing was broken. I personally think she overreacted, but Ryan still hasn't talked to me and neither has Anna. My friends agree with me though. What a surprise, friends agree friends. But not now, I'm not so sure. Am I the a-hole? Emma?
I mean, straight away, I'm kind of like, well, it is her property in her room.
Yeah.
And if she's 15, that's the point where you're starting to appreciate your own things, starting to work for things a little bit more. So I do feel like she was well within her rights to be annoyed that they were in her room and that the mum or the stepmom wanted her kids, as she kept saying, to use the same console. I don't know. I feel like the stepmom has definitely asked a little bit much of Anna.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just playing about with your camera.
Okay.
Because you're leaning forward. How dare you?
Sorry.
Yeah. You said you were going to stay in that position. How dare you? No, I'm just kidding.
Apologies.
Dani, what about your thoughts? How are you feeling about that?
First, I want to applaud Brian for actually giving Anna her own privacy, because that is good parenting. But I agree. Like, it is hers and it is in her room. I understand if it wasn't in her room, it would be kind of free for everyone. And also, I really want to know what happened last time.
Yeah,
the thing is, she
know
talked
what
about this
happened.
incident, but won't dare say what the incident is, which means it was something serious. It was, they accidentally dropped the controller. And if the controller's
I feel
fine,
like because she said nothing was broken this time, I feel like they broke something last time,
yeah.
which makes sense then why Anna would be so hesitant to let them use it again. I also think 5 years old is ever so slightly, maybe I'm just old for this, but isn't that a little bit too young to be on a PlayStation?
I think, was it an 8-year-old? There's an 8-year-old.
The
So an
twins,
8-year-old.
the twins were 5. Yeah, I thought.
The twins were 5, and there's an 8-year-old boy. So I'm assuming it's the 8-year-old boy.
Still.
Either way,
that's still quite young.
Yeah.
By themselves on the PlayStation.
And it was her PlayStation 5 to sell, so she's not annoyed that she sold the PlayStation 5.
She said that they all decided
Yeah.
4 was better, so she sold the 5.
Yeah.
And the stepmom doesn't want to spend any more money. So there's another problem. Like, it's remember, it's her kids as she's being like, she wants to treat the kids the same, but it's her kids.
I wonder if the same would be said if it was the other way around and the PlayStation belonged to her kids. You know? I think she is the a-hole.
Yeah. She also seems just really passionate. If she's feeling this passionate about it, PS4s aren't that expensive anymore.
Exactly.
I don't know when the story was published, but
the same quality.
Yeah, well, PlayStation 5's out, and that's what 2-3-year-old now, at least. So the PlayStation 4 will be well within the end of its life. You can get the original PlayStation 4s for super cheap, not even the slimline ones.
Yeah. And it's got to have been long enough for them to have made a decision or whatever on the PS5 not being as good as the PS4. So it wouldn't have been like day of release or anything. This must have spanned at least a few months.
Exactly.
And it's a teenage girl. She wants her privacy. And she's let them in the room, not taking the PlayStation out the room. Let them go in her room.
Not asked her to bring the PlayStation out of the room. She's just let the kids in the room.
Yeah.
When she wasn't even home.
But the thing is, though, she came home, so the mother hadn't even, like, this. This is what I think. I think the mother can't be bothered to deal with the kids and said, yeah, just go on the console and forget about them, because she said they were out. But if you were going to hide it, you would let them go play it, then got them out before they got home, and then see if they noticed. But the mother's just kind of let them go play, and then when she's came home, that's caused the incident as well. So our trust's being broken by letting them in the room, and the mother's kind of like, well, speak to them calmly. Imagine if they had went into the mother's bedroom, trashed it. Do you think the mother would speak calmly?
Exactly. Exactly. Yes, she's the asshole.
Yeah. I think we all agree.
We're all in agree they are the a-hole. And also, anyone watching, please let us know in the comments if you think they're the a-hole. Let us know your thoughts, because in the future we will be reading some of these comments and going back through these stories and reading out some of your opinions as well. So yeah, all in agreement, they are an a-hole.
Yeah.
Yep.
That I know.
One a-hole sorted. Shall we have a look at story number 2?
Let's do it.
We don't have to. It's a very short video if we don't.
Yeah, no, that's it.
Okay,
so
right.
The question is, shall we? But the answer is you have to.
Yeah.
Okay, next one. Am I the a-hole for getting angry at my wife for sneaking into my room to play Tekken? Yeah. A wife sneaking around to play Tekken.
In his room?
Into my room.
But they're married.
They're married. So let me read the story.
Please do.
So.
Like, I need context.
So.
I love this.
Me, male 24, and my wife, female 24, so both the same age, have been married for over a year and have a 4-month-old son. He's a Storm, which I found out is a stay-at-home mom. I had to research that.
No, I didn't know that either.
That in. Yeah, so I've added that in just so I remember. It's a stay-at-home mom. And a great one at that. She's the most loving mother I've ever seen. I sleep in the guest bedroom since I have to be up at 8 a.m. to go to work and work from home. I need uninterrupted sleep, which is why I sleep there, as the baby cries every 4 hours at night. After the baby goes to sleep, she comes into the guest bedroom where I have a video game set up to play Tekken. She's been playing it for a month and is surprisingly good. For some reason, she's addicted to the game and plays it every free time she gets. She says it's her way of distressing. I get that, but I have asked her, please don't come in the room while I'm asleep, as I have to get up early, whereas she doesn't. The screen is bright and I'm a light sleeper. She says the only free time she gets is when the baby is down for the night and she really wants to play and looks forward to it all day. I got angry with her last night because she jumped up and made a noise because she lost a game. She's super competitive and gets mad when she loses. Also, yeah. I get called a sore loser. I try to hide it, but obviously it doesn't come across. Also, side note, she doesn't have any friends since she moved cities to be with me, so I do feel bad. Am I the a-hole for getting angry? And there's a little edit at the bottom. I cannot move the gaming system since I have an £800 monitor and a gaming chair. We don't have enough space to keep it in the house. This is a tough one.
Yeah, with context, now I'm rethinking my decision.
Yeah, the title was a little bit almost misleading in a way.
Misleading, yeah.
Yeah, because you're like, oh,
it's very
clearly he's an a-hole.
But then when you listen to the context, you're like, actually,
See, personally,
no, he's not an a-hole for that.
I think they're both a little bit of an a-hole.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Because he's got work, and obviously she's a stay-at-home mom, which means he's earning the majority of the money for the family, which is understandable. And obviously she'll probably go back to whatever job she had. But at that time, he's the one that's working.
Yeah.
So he needs to make sure, and it doesn't say what his job is. It says he works from home. So it's not as if he's doing anything dangerous, which is good. But he still
could be doing something quite important, you know?
Yeah, quite intense.
She's agreed that he should go in the guest room to get his sleep.
Yeah.
But then she's disturbing it every night.
Yeah. But then she's also having to deal with a baby all night, and having a baby means a lot of your time is looking after it. So any free time she wants to
genuinely can't get any more time, then it makes sense that nighttime is the only time she has to enjoy herself and de-stress a little bit, even if it's just for a couple of hours.
I feel like you can play Tekken on more things than just a computer, right?
This is true.
Or even if it's a console, consoles can be moved pretty easily and they can be used on any screen. They don't have to be used on an £800 monitor with
And a
a
gaming
chair.
Yeah, people with gaming chairs are so
I know,
sad.
wild. I want one.
What?
As I sit here on my Spider-Man one.
But yeah, I do feel like there's an easier solution here, and maybe a little bit of better communication that they could have between the two of them.
Agreed.
Have they never heard of cloud-based gaming?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They could literally play Tekken on the phone and have the controller hooked up to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that doesn't involve any extra money as well, which is good.
But or if they have a TV screen in another room, you can get that this is me advertising for free. The little Xbox dongles now. You can cloud stream for free.
Yeah, Amazon
now, it'd be so much easier.
Yeah,
Amazon allows you to play Xbox on it, but it depends when this was. But I like to make the assumption they obviously have a television screen. They'll have a living room because it sounds in the spare room. They'd have it. Most people, not
I feel like
most people have a TV screen.
Yeah.
You wouldn't spend £800 on a monitor if you didn't already have a TV.
Exactly. Fair enough that they don't have the space, but surely if they have, a family now, they have spaces.
Yeah.
It's a tough one, this, isn't it?
It is a tough one.
It is a tough one.
Because he should be understanding she's looking after a young baby, and as the baby gets older, it'll sleep better. So it's obviously just kind of
in the meantime.
But it sounds like she's got like an addiction to the game because her friends aren't nearby. She's obviously just her and the baby, which is obviously a lot.
That is hard, yeah.
Stress, obviously. So this is her stress reliever. So
having a young kid is not easy.
Can't speak from experience on that one.
I was going to say it is, but I'm sure it is. I've got younger siblings, so I live vicariously.
I'm the only parent here.
Yeah. I can imagine it is hard. And moving as well is also very difficult. So there's a lot of layers of stress on her, but they could definitely both communicate better with each other.
Yeah, agree.
Maybe she's playing with friends online, we don't know, and that's her way of keeping in contact. But there's lots of different things they could have done to alleviate the situation. So I wouldn't say they're both a-holes, but I wouldn't say they're both innocent.
Yeah.
No, that's fair.
Agreed.
If we did,
I'd say holes rather than a-holes. Like they're just kind of there.
But if we did have to vote for one,
I mean, I'd say probably not the a-hole.
I would say not an a-hole also.
Yeah.
Are you going with a-hole, Emma?
It's the guy that's written the story, right? Or was it the girl? Sorry, I can't remember.
Yes, it is the husband.
Okay. Not an a-hole. But it's very, very close.
It is. It is very close.
Yeah. There's a touch of a-holery.
He's admitted that she moved away to come marry me and things like that, so he's aware that like she's sacrificed for him. But then on the other hand, it's like, if you've got that self-awareness, why are you not just communicating better with her?
Or maybe he's just good that she's a better Tekken player than him.
I thought that as well when he mentioned that she's surprisingly good. I was like,
they're surprisingly good. Yeah,
that is the truth. They don't like the fact their wife is better at Tekken, and if that's the case, then they are an a-hole.
Perfect.
But that was a tough one.
Yeah,
definitely.
Let's move on to story number 3. Am I the a-hole for saying it's a waste buying it for you about a gift I gave to my friend? A few months ago, my 27 female friend, they're a 27 female, and their friend is a 24 masculine, was telling me that he saw people play Baldur's Gate 3 and how he wanted to give it a shot. I was halfway through the game at this point, and I was excited to start a new run in multiplayer mode, so it was a perfect timing to play together with him. He's not exactly swimming with cash, but I really wanted to play with him, so I decided to dip into my fun money savings and bought him the game, thinking we'd have a blast playing together. The same day I bought it for him, we played for a couple of hours and had a really good time. We logged off and agreed to play again another time. Fast forward to now, 2 months had passed and we've been busy with things, but he's recently been free enough to start playing games again. I mentioned we should play Baldur's Gate 3 together since it's been a while, but he said he had uninstalled it for other games. He said he had no storage left and he wanted to finish other games. I was sad and disappointed about this, but I offered to buy some second-hand storage for him so we can play. He refused because he said he doesn't have enough space for another SSD or hard drive. I asked if he'd ever want to play again, and he said, ugh, maybe. After I uninstalled some games I've been meaning to finish, I don't know. Unenthusiastically, he said this. That's when I said, if I knew you wouldn't want to play, I wouldn't have bought it for you since it's turned out to be a waste. It probably wouldn't have upset me so much, and I probably wouldn't be so mean about it if he'd said something like, hey, I know you're really excited and you took out a good chunk of your savings for this, but I can't play this right now. But alas. Anyway, he got upset and told me he felt like he owed me something now. We kind of stopped talking after that, but I was the a-hole for saying it like that. The game really isn't cheap. I told him from the beginning that I was willing to shell out a good amount of money because I really wanted to play with him, so I was upset to hear he hasn't installed it like it was nothing. Are they the a-hole?
Well, on the one hand, I agree that they could have communicated better about the fact that actually it wasn't really the game for them. And I think that's understandable. Depending on where they bought it as well. If they'd given them enough notice, I think it was the female that was telling the story in the scenario. I don't have names, so I'm just having to go by that as an identifier. Like they could have got a refund on Steam if there'd been enough notice given. So the money could have kind of come back had the communication been better. However, it does also sound like the friend that's telling this story, she was being quite pushy with it as well. So maybe they did feel kind of a bit pressured and stuff, and then felt that's where the breakdown in communication came from, because they felt awkward or pressured, and therefore having that conversation felt hard. So yeah, it's another spicy one.
Yeah.
Not the clearest cut.
Dani?
I feel like on the one hand, she went out of her way to get him this game, and and he mentioned before, am I right in thinking he mentioned he was excited to try it, but he couldn't afford it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he did hype up the fact that he wanted to try this game. And so she went out of her way. She got it for him. She offered to get him, an extra SSD to be able to download it again. On the other hand, despite the fact that he mentioned it, he didn't ask her to buy it. That was her choice to make. So he's not like, he shouldn't feel pressured to have to play it because she bought it for him. Like,
Yeah,
at the end of the day, it's a game, and gaming is meant to be fun and entertaining. You're not supposed to be forced into it, or you know what I mean, or feel like you have to play it for XYZ reason. So
well, the 3 is a short game though. You can do it in a few hours, right?
Just a few hours.
200 hours on it.
Jesus.
Yeah,
I definitely agree. It's one of those. It's another spicy one. We need better communication in this situation.
I think personally, definitely. If you're willing to buy a game for someone, and I've done this before, and they said, "Oh, if I don't like it, then I won't play it." And I said, "Look,
but you didn't buy Helldivers for me. I buy that with my own money."
Yeah, that's
TJ.
True. But
you made us both play it, and you didn't buy it for us. What the hell, CJ?
I mean, I bought for my friend because I didn't have any money at that point, but I really wanted to play it. And then I took knew fine well that the risk is if they don't enjoy it, they don't play it. That's the risk you take. But they did enjoy it, and then they got paid, and then they paid me back, which was fine. But I knew that I wasn't going to get that 20 odd quid, how much it was on PC at the time. And that was the risk I was willing to take. So it's a gift. That is the key thing. Yeah. I've had some horrible Christmas presents. Imagine if like someone gave you a gift at Christmas and then said, well, I bought you those like fluffy socks with little faces on your toes. Why aren't you wearing them all the time?
I guess the biggest difference here is the price difference.
This is true.
Yeah.
I got a present one Christmas and I was 16 and I got colouring pens from a relative.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't any special colour. It was literally just colouring pens.
Okay. Where's the story going?
Well, I was 16 and they got me colouring pens. Why would you get a 16-year-old lad colouring pens?
Oh, I would have been delighted with colouring pens. Sorry. I was like...
Okay, maybe I'm just ungrateful. Maybe I am the a-hole coming out in this video, yeah. Let me know in the comments. Am I the a-hole because I was a 60-year-old boy and I got colouring pens?
Everyone say yes.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think the friend is the a-hole here. You knew there was always a risk when you buy someone something, and it said it was your fun money. So it isn't money that you need to live or buy food or
That's
pay
fair.
rent or
Yeah.
anything like that. It's your fun money. So you know that money is aside for these sort of things. And they haven't said they won't play it again in the future. They just don't want to play it right now. I've bought games in the past, like Baldur's. I'm going to be honest. When I got Baldur's Gate, I played it for a few hours. Went, maybe this isn't for me. Gave it a few weeks. Went back to it, and because I think the first few hours I played, I got a better understanding of it, and then I enjoyed it when I went back and played it again. I've done that with games before. I've played them. I haven't enjoyed them. But then when I've went back to them to give them a second chance, because I've got more understanding of it, I've then enjoyed it more. But I don't know about you, but I've got a backlog. I've got Elden Ring still sat on my PC.
Oh,
I've played
so
it for
many
an hour,
games.
Oh no.
and
Yeah.
I've just not really played it. And it's like game of the year. Like
Yeah.
Control, I had that for like 2 years before I played it. And that's mate, I love that game. But it took me 2 years to get to it. And I'm so glad I did. I don't
there's
even know
lots
the
of
same
games on
how many Steam
backlog.
games I've got. Yeah. I think
Yeah.
I've got like 30 games on my Steam backlog I haven't played yet.
Wow. To be fair, same. The amount of games that I have saved, that I have downloaded, that I also had to get myself an external drive for, that I haven't actually played yet, is great.
If she's willing to buy an external drive, it means money mustn't be a problem for her. So it can't be the fact she spend money. And I'm sure she has other friends. Baldur's Gate is pretty popular. I'm starting to think that maybe it's more about this friend she wants to play with in the game.
Yeah.
I think so. Because Baldur's Gate I actually prefer Baldur's Gate on my own than I do with other people. I've played 3 playthroughs with people. I prefer it on my own.
Because you've got to know when you play friends, scheduling is a nightmare.
What did you say? Sorry?
I said I think they're both a-holes for this one.
Really?
Yeah.
Sounds like they both have very a-holey traits. I don't know.
I think this friend is not the a-hole. They've had something go for them. They tried it. They didn't enjoy it. And maybe they're just being polite in saying that, because they said at the end, I feel like I owe you something now. Maybe they're just trying to be polite.
No, I don't know. I agree with them both being a-holery, because there's because he could have said something. He could have said something at the time. But he's just decided not to say anything, to the point where it kind of became almost an obsession, I guess, on her part. Maybe there was an obsession that was already there and he didn't realize it till afterwards, but he definitely could have communicated that way better.
Exactly. At the same time, though, I think maybe he was trying to be honest with her by saying, look, I deleted it. I'm not enjoying it at the moment. There are other games that I feel like I'd enjoy more. It's better than making up excuses or lying. He just went straight to the truth, which is also a good thing. But then she's clearly taken it very negatively and kind of said it as if, like, I bought this for you. She's almost implying that he owes her in a weird way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then he's also not taking it upon himself to just sit her down and be like, listen, there are other games we can play. It doesn't have to be Baldur's Gate. I'm sure they have, they've been clearly friends for a while, so I'm sure that they have other things in common.
Yeah.
With, not just Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
So
that's fair.
Yeah.
And it is a big investment playing Baldur's Gate or Final Fantasies. You've got to give 30, 40 hours to them.
Sure.
Maybe she just needs to get better friends.
Maybe they both
needs to get better friends.
Yeah, maybe they both. Yeah.
She is the a-hole, but you're saying they're both. So.
Yeah, I think it's still kind of slightly more weighted on one side, but less so than the last story.
Yes, agreed.
I'm really
the last story we thought neither of them were technically. This time they both are, I think.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
I'm just going with her more than him. It's a gift. He doesn't have to use that gift. He's played with her, and then if he decides not to use that gift anymore, then that's his choice. It's a gift.
I suppose.
He didn't.
In fairness, though, I think without hearing that original conversation of him saying how he really wants to play it but can't afford it, without hearing the tone and everything, we don't know if there was an implication there of, well, you want me to play, why don't you get it for me? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because we weren't privy to it.
Yeah, maybe they're just not as good of friends as, like, I wouldn't hold it, like, if a friend, I bought something for a friend and then they didn't use it anymore, I'm not going to hold it against them, because some people like gifts, sometimes people don't. I've got 2 gifts I'm giving people this week, and they'll probably hate it. and that's
Different-
fine.
Yeah, different people have different love languages as well, don't they?
Yeah.
So some people aren't comfortable with gifts.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments who you think the a-hole is in the story. I want to know whether people watching
story, not me, and
what, not your gift giving, not CJ's gift giving.
Yeah.
The story's gift giving.
Right. On that note, I know what's going to happen in the comments. It's going to be, yeah, CJ is the a-hole. Story number 4.
That would have happened
moving
anyway.
on. Yeah, it would have happened anyway. It always does. People love to pick on me.
Yeah.
Story number 4. Am I the a-hole for wiping out my son's gaming hard drive? So, my son has been obsessed with video games for as long as I can remember. Gets home from school, into a room to play video games, fun outing with the family, nah, video games. It's annoying and getting older and older day by day. He's been slipping in school, and I believe it's the result of non-stop game playing. His mum and I warned him if he didn't step it up, there would be consequences. Of course, that went on deaf ears. Today, I got a call from his teacher saying he got kicked out of class and had been disruptive and inattentive. I was furious. I've had enough of it. I took his PlayStation 4 and instead of just taking it or destroying it, I factory reset it. Wiped all the memory. When he got... You okay there, guys?
Yeah, fine.
Yep, keep going.
Some sort of PTSD there. When we got home from school today, he went straight to play video games, of course. You could hear what the fuck from his room. There was a bunch of noise before he comes storming to find me. Dad, did you mess with my PlayStation 4? I told him yes. His teacher called saying he was still misbehaving, so I wiped everything off of it. My son's reaction would leave you to believe I killed his pet dog. Maybe he had a game which had a pet dog in it. I'm not
Maybe.
exaggerating. I can't even put in words how flagrant his reaction was. I've never seen him so mad before in my life. He's claiming thousands of hours of data from all his games are gone now, and I don't understand how much time and effort I just cost him. Personally, I think good. That was the point of this punishment. My wife now thinks I went too far, as my son is acting like his rights have been infringed upon. Swears he won't talk to me ever again. Was this a good, effective punishment, or am I the a-hole? Now, I think that's two
Definitely
different questions. An effective punishment and am I the a-hole is two different questions.
I can answer this one plain and simple. No, that wasn't an effective punishment because now he's just going to try and build those hours back up. And 2, yes, he's an a-hole. He could have just taken the PlayStation away or grounded his kid.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's an effective
don't
punishment.
think I could cope if someone deleted all my progress like that. I genuinely don't think I'd stand it. I don't know what I'd do.
I'd want to leave. I'd be like
I'd
packing up
leave.
my stuff, putting it all on my shoulder and a little stick.
Literally on a stick.
When like a stripy t-shirt and stand at the side of the road,
Yeah.
like
I'll be gone.
stand outside Sony headquarters. Can you do anything?
There's so many other ways that you can limit your child playing video games. My parents did it to me the whole time I was growing up. They tried first with the internet, where they put a limiter on the internet, which turned off at like 12. Then when I switched to Sims, because I didn't have to play that online and played that until 2 o'clock in the morning, they started cutting off the electricity to my room instead. So, you know, there's ways around it without ruining their life.
Yeah,
You sound like you're a right rebel of a child.
I was pretty bad, yeah, but I did do well at school, so it's fine. Like, I guess this is the problem here, is that the child wasn't performing well was starting to not perform well at school, and he was like, oh, I have to find a solution to this problem. Whereas I actually still managed to keep up my grades and do all my homework and stuff whilst also playing large quantities of hours of video games. So I guess that's where the problem is.
I also wonder if they tried to look into other causes for his failing and his disruptive behavior. Like, it's not always
that's a good point.
PlayStation.
Maybe it's bad parenting.
Do you know what I mean? Maybe it's bad parenting. Maybe the kid has a learning disability that you don't know about. I don't know.
Yeah.
There has to be.
Also, how old is this kid?
For it.
It doesn't say.
Yeah.
Like, everyone gets kicked out of a class at some... Like, I was a good two shoes student, but even I was sent out of a class at one point.
Same.
I was never sent out of class.
Oh, I was, but then my teacher was an a-hole, so that's different.
Yeah, that's different. Yeah.
Well, my teachers just had it in for me. But there was like 10 Christophers in my school, so I think you got us confused with everyone's now.
Fair.
His name is. So yeah, but my one teacher hated me with a passion.
Mm.
Even on parents, he even said, he's this, he's this, he's this. And my parents are sat there going, yeah,
Are you
this
sure?
yeah, this is not who you described. Like every other teacher loved me. Yeah, as a teacher, as pet with all of them, got all the work that I even did all the work. I got like a GCSE B with this guy.
Wow.
And I was still a terrible student. But on results day, I looked at him because I knew he looked at my result, and I looked at him. I just pointed at my GCSE sheet, like, yeah,
Yep, I'm passed.
hi. Yeah.
See you later.
Yeah. But it's a very good point about that there could be other causes that are the problem at school. It's like you say, especially if there's like learning difficulties and stuff, because in younger kids as well, it's hard to identify, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, in anyone it's hard to identify, but you know.
Exactly. And again, there's always ways around disruptive behavior and kind of not trying hard enough in school that don't involve deleting all of his gaming history.
Like for non-game, like it's hard to explain the non-gamers because they're like, well, it's just games. You can play in the game. Don't you love playing games? You can just play them. But I kind of equate deleting saves as the same as, say, someone's got photos on their iPhone, like memories of years and years. And if you lost all of your photographs from years and years and years, you'd be devastated. They're memories. Those photos are memories. These games are people's memories. They've like the stories and the interactions you've had with them.
Exactly. Because think about it as well, by factory resetting, this is just me getting really deep into it. By factory resetting that console, they've deleted all of their screenshots, all of their conversations, like the messages and stuff, all of their, not only just their game progress, they've deleted all of the video recordings and things, everything.
Yeah. That's heartbreaking. Tough. Yeah. That's way too harsh punishment.
That is genuinely really sad.
It didn't seem also in the story to give any indication that they gave like a warning that this would happen.
Yeah.
I don't think, unless I missed that.
Consequences. Yeah, they just said there will be consequences. If they turned around and said, right, I'm taking your PlayStation 4 off you, next time I will reset it.
Yeah, that would be more effective than wiping it.
Exactly.
Or just deleting one game a day.
Oh no, that's like torture, CJ. That's too far.
Throwing it out. Or just take it away. Do you know what I mean? Like when I was younger, again, I was doing decently well in school, but I had a limit on how often I was allowed to play. So although I gamed a lot as a child, but like especially when I was in my teenage years, I would only be allowed my Xbox out during the summer holidays and during, breaks when I didn't have exams coming up.
See, I never slept. So I used to play
This
late.
is the thing, like neither did I, but in terms of having that console there and being able to just sit and game and not be interrupted, I was only allowed it for certain periods. And it was always when there wasn't any school and there wasn't any exams coming up. So it was like it gave me something to look forward to. Like I would do really well at this term. And then during the holidays, I've got my Xbox for 2 weeks. Do you know what I mean? And it worked really well to keep me motivated in that way. So I feel like things like that, conversations like that to be had with the kid would have been better than just hard wiping everything and then leaving it there for the child to find later.
Oh yeah, that is awful.
See, I would have been really mean. I would have got a second-hand PlayStation and swapped the one around so it looked like it was wiped.
Yes, but you'd have kept the original. You wouldn't have gotten rid of it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's also the fact that was it the mom that wrote this or was it the dad?
The dad.
The dad. The dad wasn't angry about the fact that his kid just swore.
Yeah.
But
so it must be a teenage
He's angry.
For behavior at school.
Yeah.
I think we're all in agreement.
That's the a-hole.
He's a massive a-hole for that one.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, wow. I'm actually so upset for this poor
Then
kid.
again, unless they're playing like really bad games like Gollum and stuff like that, then maybe the hard drive needs to be wiped.
They didn't even mention.
But who knows?
Poor kid.
Right. Final story. Now, this one is slightly different because this one is a will I be the a-hole? So they haven't actually done it yet.
Interesting.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Will I be the a-hole if I backed on buying a Switch purely because my siblings would get to play it? So they don't want to... It's swapped again. So they said, will I be the a-hole if I backed out on buying a Switch just so my siblings don't get to play it? I have 4 sisters who are all younger. They have broken 4 Wiis and multiple controllers, which is crazy. See, they should just stop then. That's it.
Yeah,
That's got me.
In fairness, it sounds like my younger siblings.
Yeah.
But go on.
But they continue. I wanted the Switch as my own thing and thought as such because, well, it's $300. And to a 15-year-old, that's insane. So this person is 15-year-old.
Oh,
After hearing it would be not allowed to leave in the living room, and not only that, but my sisters could play it whenever. I rethought everything. I don't want to share my console because I know that not only will they not chip in, but they will destroy it. I don't want them to lose games, controllers, have rage fits, and get everything dirty and expect me to pay more. My mom refuses to even think about me taking it to my room and said it would have to be shared. Would I be the a-hole if I backed out on buying a Switch? Now, there is an edit, so let me read the edit.
okay.
I just want to clarify, a lot of people think my siblings are entitled, and they aren't. They are little and love playing Mario, and my mom has always been against video games. Only recently my mom has ever thought about us getting games. She also isn't trying to steal my money, but thank you for the concern. Also, I will be going soon to the Switch banks over, but I can't because they can't make purchases over $100 on the card. I live in a big family, so it's always been all share, no selflessness, which I understand. But since I'm getting to that age where privacy is more valuable, I put it up here as I was unsure. Thanks for helping me with this. Also, I love my mom. She isn't crazy or anything. It's just she wants everyone to share everything, and I'm no longer about that.
The fact that this is coming from a 15-year-old is so cute.
I know,
First
it's
of all, this sounds
adorable.
like a really 15-year-old.
Yeah.
Not an a-hole at all.
No.
Not at all.
Save
I think that
money.
one's perfectly justified, to be fair. It's
Yeah.
$300 to a teenager. I probably couldn't drop that at my age, you know what I mean? Not like,
Yeah.
you know what I
I
mean?
won't even
Especially
drop that
something that
now
you're-
in our work.
Exactly. Especially not if you know that it will be used, it will be damaged, it will need repairing, and
Mm.
no one else is going to chip in for that. No, she's not an a-hole for that at all. Oh, poor kid though. She's missing out on getting a Switch that she wants.
I mean, I think maybe have an adult discussion with the parents saying, look,
Yeah.
my friends have Switches in their rooms. I want this is
Yeah.
what's happened in the past.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
want to have a Switch here. I think their main concern is if it was a PlayStation, they don't have to touch it, they just touch the controllers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
With the
I can
Switch.
understand how the multiple controllers on the Wii's broken because everyone broke. They just went flying. But because it's a handheld,
Yeah.
I can see that getting broken.
Mm. And Switches are pretty bad for getting broken, like for drifting a lot on the controllers anyway. So they're already dodge.
Yeah. Unless, I don't know if the kid would know this, but obviously if the mum is willing to chip in to get the kids separate controllers for
And
the
the
Switch,
agreement is they keep it in the dock and then
yeah.
they don't touch anything else.
Exactly.
But then they might accidentally delete saves, and we know we don't like people that delete saves.
No, we do not.
No, definitely not. No. That
No,
would be
I
a
don't
good
think she's
workaround,
an
though. A
a-hole
good
at all.
compromise.
I think she's just a poor kid that just wants her own Switch.
Yeah.
And
Want
I
some
don't think they'd
space,
be the
some
a-hole for
place to
not
play video
buying it.
games.
It sounds
No.
like
I
they're
think
going
the
to
mum
buy
is
it,
an
though.
a-hole in this situation. Can I be honest?
I don't think the mum's been an a-hole. I think it's just they've grew up with the whole everyone shares everyone's toys or everyone's toys, and then that stops arguments.
But then they kind of have to realize that eventually the oldest will grow up, you know. And
exactly, that's what I was going to say.
their own spaces and their own
But I
stuff.
understand with all the Wii's being broke.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm saying I don't think the kid's an a-hole at all. I think the kid just realizes she has younger siblings and they're young. They don't know any better. They don't know that this would cost $300. They don't know what $300 is.
Yeah.
They just see toy and they think, ooh, shiny.
But they would not be an a-hole for not buying it. But I think by the sounds of it, they're swapping banks so they can. So I'm hoping they've had a conversation with the parent, whoever that is. I really do hope. God, I'd happily start a Kickstarter for this kid so they can have a secret
That's what I was thinking. I was like, let's get this kid a Switch. Maybe a lock for their room.
I'm not going to say that though, because everyone in the comments is going to be like, I'm that kid, buy me a Switch. Like, no.
If you are the kid, leave a comment.
Yeah, we want to know
who you are.
Oh,
no,
this
I
kid
don't
sounds
think
so
they're gonna
emotionally
be
intelligent as well, though.
They
They
really do, don't
They
they?
sound
I
lovely.
wonder if it was under duress though. The mom was like, make it sound nice to your siblings.
But But the main rule is never share with siblings. I've shared some of my old consoles with siblings when I wasn't playing, even though I bought them. Like, I was working at this point and I bought them myself. Like, the older ones where my parents bought us, I understood, gave them it, and they still broke them, so I had to buy a second one. I bought the second one, and they were still expected to give them. They broke them. So one of my original PlayStations broke. As you can see, probably behind me, I keep all... There's the GameCube and stuff. I keep all of the old retro consoles that I've had, but one of my PlayStations ruined. Because I had to give it to my siblings. But
I know somebody that gave their sibling I think it was like a Game Boy and all of their Game Boy games whilst they were in a restaurant because their parents made them give them the Game Boy and the games. And the brother left everything in the restaurant. And they were abroad. So it's not like they could go back and get it.
Oh, that hurts.
I feel that pain. And as a person that likes keeping all of their... Like, I've got like Sega Saturns and an original NES hidden in places. So I'd be devastated if anything happened to them.
Yeah. I was fortunate.
6, and I don't think I've ever given my siblings anything until I'd replaced it and didn't want the thing I gave them anymore. Because I understand that when you give it to them, that's it. You're never going to see it in one piece ever again. So I've given them, like, I gave my sister my old headset and things like that, and I gave one of my brothers, one of my old controllers. That old controller was smashed within a month, and the headset, at one point, one of the pads was just hanging off by the wire that was built.
Oh
into it, and I was just like, how?
See, what I did with my daughter, though, and this may be what the parent needs to do, is I said my daughter wanted an iPad, but I wasn't going to pay like £500, £600. So I got a cheap Samsung tablet, which is only £100, and said, if you can look after that for a year and it's still in perfect condition, I will happily buy you an iPad. And lo and behold, like, she got it at Christmas, but I think I actually got it to her before the end of the year, to be honest, because she was being really responsible with it. She looked after it. So then I got an iPad. Because she'd proven that she could look after it. And maybe the mother needs to see, well, give the kids a thing saying, look, he has an old console. If you can look after that, then we'll look into doing it. Because we can guarantee these kids will not look after it, which will prove this kid's point.
Yeah. If they can get through one way without breaking it.
Yeah, or the same goes, to be fair, for the teenager as well. What she could do is she could give the teenager something and say, look, keep this in your room, but bring it out for your siblings to make sure that they get the chance to play with it as well. And keep that going for X amount of time. And if she can see that the teenager does actually allow them to play with it and is not just doing it to hog it, then the teenager should be allowed to get the Switch and keep it in her room.
I mean, this kid's very smart. Maybe we need a parental contract.
Like, decently responsible.
If the kids break my Switch, you will pay out for new Joy-Cons, and the parents sign it.
Just make them sign a contract when you buy it.
And then that'll be legally binding. Then we'll see them on Judge Judy and stuff like that, saying, well, they agreed to this.
Just the scroll comes out.
I definitely say they are not the a-hole in this situation.
No. Yeah, I definitely not the a-hole.
No, definitely not.
And that brings us to the end of Am I the A-hole Gaming Edition.
Woohoo!
Yeah, we survived. We got through 5 stories, with the majority of them being a-holes, a mixture of a-holes, and then definitely not an a-hole.
Yeah. A good balance, I would say.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
A good balance.
I'm glad to see that most of the a-holery is like mild a-hole. Actually, no, the dad. Never mind. I take it all back.
Yeah, the dad.
I take it. Yeah.
We had a whole scale. We like, if it was a line, it would be a diagonal line of like the a-hole.
Yeah.
And then he just spikes at the end.
Neither were a-holes, and then there was one we thought both were a-holes, so that kind of balanced.
Kind of just went up. Then story number 5. Whoop.
Yeah. Yeah. I would agree.
Way of looking at it. But no, thank you for joining us. It's been good having this discussion with you both. We'll have to do this again. We want to do more gaming editions and stuff. Dani, if we haven't put you off, you're more than welcome to come back in the future.
Oh, I'd love to. It was fun.
Yeah. Good. And if you've been watching, please share your ideas in the comments. We would love to hear your thoughts, because again, we want to come back and read through these in a special
all your stories.
Yeah.
Exactly. Are you the a-hole?
Yeah. Or if you found them on Reddit, there is a form in the description below which you can click and send us your stories that you've found, and we may read them out and give you a shout out in future videos. And that brings us to the end. Sad face. But We'll be back again with more A-hole of stories soon. Bye, everyone. See you all soon.
Bye.
Yeah.